Hey, what's up? This is Dilio, and I'm going to prove to you that I predicted the MPC Key 61 about 2 years ago. Yes. I got my Amadeus. What's that? Negro Diamonds. Remember Negro Diamonds from Dave Chappelle? Man, that was the Chappelle show was funny. Did y'all like the Chappelle show? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I just want to give my compliment to everybody who talked about the Pro Tools video that I talked about why I don't use it anymore. Like, everybody was very respectful there, and whoever disagreed was not pretty, but actually respectful. And those who did agree and been through the similar, it was just interesting reading all your stories. If you're interested in that video, just checking out the comments people have been laying on there. The link is in the description below, and I think it was really cool. All right, so let's get back to this video. All right, so MPC Key 61. All right, the honeymoon phase is over. You know, people aren't making content about it much. I'm not making much content about it. You know, I still want one, but I don't need one, but I want one. Don't need one, but want one just because it's cool. And I, you know, as any NPC head, I think a lot of people who have NPCs probably own more than one, who are just a fan of that platform, use it a lot, or we just got money to throw around. You know, people got that. But the interesting thing is that a few people in the comments kind of brought it to my attention. I checked it out myself, and I was like, I did what? I predicted the MPC Key 61 2 years ago. I was like, really? And the thing is that, well, I'll let you see the clip and I'll let you judge it for myself. I was sort of foreshadowing what was going to happen, and I'll just show you a clip of what I talked about. You could almost see, this is a prediction, and let me know what you think about this in the comments. You could almost see a Kai running with this kind of concept and doing it to where you have an NPC inside of a keyboard. An NPC inside of a keyboard situation. But the only drawback to that is that for it to be fully standalone, they probably have to upgrade the processor and the hardware, and you really have to have some plugins that are built into this thing that can compete to what's out there. And while this does have some great plugins on here, and I imagine they're going to keep growing that concept, it still doesn't compete with the kind of plugins and kind of flexibility that we have out there on most computer hardwares. Of course, the processor on here, you can only do so much with it, but just imagine an NPC with this kind of framework built into a keyboard. I think that would be a cool concept. What do you think about that? So as you can see, I think prediction confirmed. You know, we are now in 2022. That Open Labs Nico video was about 2 years old, and I think it was just really cool. And actually, I had a lot of great interaction in that video. Actually, I'll put that video in the description below if you want to check out that Open Labs Nico. I had like a Timbaland version of that thing. It was smaller, and I couldn't get it to work. And it's sad because I can't form or find drivers to get that thing to work. So since I can't get that thing to work, it was like, man, I got it to work a little bit, but definitely not like how I used to work in its heyday. But it was such a cool concept. But definitely at that time, it was very unaffordable. Back to the MPC Key 61 prediction. So as I talked about the video, and I talked about what could happen with a Kai with the drum machines. I think MPC Live, I was an MPC Live owner at the time, and it's like, wow, that'd be cool as in the keyboard. And I think they did that. Do I feel like that they saw my video and said, yeah, they do it? No, I think that a Kai probably had this planned out 2 years ago. I have a feeling that a lot of major corporations, and I could be wrong, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the videos. This is an open forum. You know, people have been very respectful and disagreeing with me on this platform, and I just give you kudos for that, because I know it's the internet. I know how things get. You gotta have a skin on here, so I know how people can get on the internet. But my audience has been real dope, so props to you again on that. And I think a lot of companies who are really investing in products, they sort of have this sort of outline going there, but you know, we don't know what goes on into these offices. You know, I mean, you got to think about there's a group of people, there's staff, and actually there's a mode in here where you can look at the people who actually worked on this platform. You can do a funny key combination and see this sort of credit reel of the people working on it. You know, these people sit in offices. I mean, they get up, have their coffee or whatever, and they sit down and they powwow and they think about, okay, what we're going to do next. And I think that the MPC Key was definitely a thought. I don't know if that was a thought when they dropped the MPC X and MPC Live 61. I think it's just done so well. It's like, okay, cool, we got something here that can work.
And I think it was just really cool that I feel like I had a good foresight on that. And what do you think? Do you think I called it out in the video? Let me know in the comments below. I'd definitely like to hear your conversation. Let's have a conversation below. A lot of people have been putting some extremely awesome comments in the video, especially that Pro Tools videos. I got to say that again. And I think that's where it's going now. If I were to make a prediction, I think probably within the rest of this year, next year, we're going to see a lot of improvements in software. That's my prediction for the KEY format. We're definitely going to see more robust sort of plugins and some optimizations and things to make it work better. I think some online integrations will be improved as well. Particularly, I don't know, but I think maybe some more of those premium instruments are probably going to be released, kind of like those plugins. Whereas they might be stepping into more of a Native Instruments Complete world where they have premium instruments. I predict a Model D plugin. If they can get an ARP 2600 emulated on this thing, they're going to do a Model D. I see that happening. I definitely see that happen, which makes it more versatile. But I do think that this generation of MPC X1 Live 2, keys maybe go a little bit longer because it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM. But this generation of is going to have a limited shelf life. These will be tomorrow's classics. Think of just how the MPC 60 is now and how sought after it is. And maybe even more sought after later on. But these right here have a shelf life. They're going to be there's going to come a point to where the software and firmware and things that a KEY wants to do, the hardware inside here will not be able to do because there's such a big deal with these being standalone. I don't want them turning this into another phone where you can got apps, and please don't, KEY, don't do that. Just let this be our escape from the phones because we're so attached to our phones so much. So you let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that how long do you think this thing is going to last for? These MPCs that we got before they say, all right, guys, we're going to have to let you know, we're going to have to go further. But I think they have a lot they can do with the software before we get to that point. Another thing is, if we're talking about technological predictions, one of the things I noticed on the internet watching YouTube videos is that they are doing AI generated artwork where you type in text, right? You type in the text and then the AI takes that text and creates an image in the style that you want it based on your description. And so my prediction is that this will go for music and beats too. And I already see this happening now because there are algorithms now with AI generating like remix versions of the song where the song is kind of garbled. You can't understand what the artist is saying, but you hear the person's voice and the beat sounds like the original beat and it's just reconfigured, but sonically it sounds the same. And they're already like sampling like voices now and making them say whatever they want, which is very powerful, borderline scary stuff. I was actually just watching Transcendence not too long ago, and it's scary because I think that there will be a time where you can type text onto an interface and it'll spit back the type of beat you want. Or you can type text and describe the type of rapper you want or type of singer, male or female. Do you want them to have an accent? Algorithmically generated by AI. I do see that happening in the future, and I do see them probably charging for it. But I don't think even if that does come, I don't think that's going to get rid of the experience of people creating organically by human. But then again, we're all sort of augmented now because we got this stuff. This tool augments my mind, what I'm hearing in my mind, and puts it in solid format. So I think that we're definitely going to be moving closer to that. And I hope that I'm right there with them, with the developers, and at least experiment with that and just being at the forefront, because it can be kind of exciting, but then it also can be a little bit scary because these AIs are doing things that are very, very incredible, very, very, very incredible, very detailed, very mind-blowing. The things that machine learning has done as far as creating things. And I think I showed a machine learning plugin not too long ago, maybe a year ago or two go back, of how it sort of kind of generates its own melodies. But I think that's my prediction. My prediction is text generated beats. is my prediction. What's your prediction? I definitely want you to let me know in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Let other viewers have a conversation and see what you have to say. Maybe they might reply back to you, because I think this is very interesting stuff. But yeah, that concludes my video of me talking about how I predicted, or that I did predict the MPC Key 61. Do you agree? If you don't agree, that's fine. I'm not going to be hurt or offended. You know, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace out.